Yes, oh yes, we back. Oh yes, we back. Oh yes, we back. Oh yes, we back. Yeah, that's what's up. Welcome to it. It is we keep the dates, man. Like it's the first of
It's the
July.
1st of July. Still, that's what it is. It's the first
Uh
of
huh.
July. It's the
Okay.
beginning of the second half of the year.
All right.
So whatever you didn't get done
Um.
in the first half of the year, try get done this second half. It's your second chance for
Yeah.
2024.
Yeah. It feels like we're still. I'm still getting that. Do you remember the movie? I think back in the 80s. It was called Steve Austin.
Oh
H
yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah. Of course, I remember Steve. Well, I
Yeah.
don't really remember. It's more like older. My sister always goes on about Steve.
Yeah, yeah. Otherwise, how's the week been, bro? Like I haven't like it's been two
Well,
weeks. Like it's amazing how time flies. Yeah.
no, no, it's been dope. Steals. How long? When was the last time we were on here? Oh, 2 weeks ago. Damn. Yeah,
Yeah.
it does kind of fly, but almost like between like that time and now was like obviously the month end rush, and obviously we've been sitting in anticipation with regards to. I think since the last time we spoke, they finally inaugurated the president.
You see, now you're the first person to talk about. We haven't
No, no,
even
no, no,
started
no.
the. No, I'm
But the
kidding,
thing
my
is,
dog.
it's the times that we are living in currently. So I think
Mm.
the president hadn't even been inaugurated the last time we spoke, and that has since happened. The inauguration of the president. I'm not sure if Parliament had already voted. I think it doesn't matter anyway. But obviously, there's been this like anxiety and anticipation of him announcing his cabinet. In this supposed GNU, Government of National Unity,
Yeah.
and I mean it's been quite a hurdle, I'm sure, for him because like he's had to, what is it like basically it's been a very hard thing to manage because now you got to appease the new people who are in. It's no longer just your party, and then you
That's
got to
bloated.
convince your party of which people to come in. I mean, there were comrades yesterday. I don't know, these things leak. I saw a conversation of the NEC. Andy Lulungisa ethukisa pha, ethuka nomam Angie, where esithi babaya hallucinator akho DA no freedom.
Yeah.
So kuthiwa phana kuthiwa hayi bo andile, don't speak like that to mom Angie. Uti, I don't say she's hallucinating. Like basically it's just been messy because a lot of people
What
have
the
been.
system is hallucinating.
Well, the thing is, like, there are people who are staunch within the ANC who are very much opposed to the DA and the Freedom Front Plus being a part of our supposed national government. But you
Mm.
know what, man? The truth of the matter is that people are not honest with us. If they were honest, they have put us in this position. All Lungisa Abo have put us in this position. It's so, as much as I also don't particularly like having to be in bed with the DA or the Freedom Front Plus, but we are here now, and it was not even. I mean, they did that, and you know what? Given our options that we really had, I don't think we had any besides this. And
Uh,
me,
Do
I would have.
you do you really think though, bro?
I already think what.
Like we didn't have much of a choice?
Well, the thing is this one, Asizo, we ANC didn't win the elections. That's the bottom line. They got 40%. So
Sure.
to win an election, you need 50.1. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they didn't do the bare minimum to win in order to control and run. So what do you do when
Hmm.
that happens? You either lobby
Thank
some people
goodness
to
for
have.
that, if you ask me.
So it's a lesson learned, but it's an expensive lesson. So they got smart, and they really reminded me that the ANC does actually have some smart people in it, and they came up with this GNU, and obviously the GNU, in order for it to work, you need to have certain people in order to get at least above the. So it's a fancy coalition, but not really a coalition, truth be told.
Look, right where we are, it's an interesting conversation, and I know, and that the entire country is obviously talking about the same thing. Whether people are in a train, in taxis, in buses, and hanging out and whatever, let's invite
Yeah,
them to be part of the conversation. So if you are watching us on Facebook or the YouTube channel Slicer TV podcast, please make sure that you leave a comment. I'm about to open the chat so that we can have more
yeah.
people
Molo
that
molo
actually are
molo
going to.
nakuwe Nwabisa Baliso. Siyakubona apho Ingelani.
Oh
Molo
yeah,
molo sis.
molasses.
Yeah, no doubt, So
Yeah, man.
that's
There
so I
she
mean,
is.
so obviously the excitement when I see her right now is not even excitement. The conversation is this cabinet that has come out. So
Mm.
I'd like to just share some thoughts about this cabinet. For example, I really like the fact that the PAC has been given the reform land reform what portfolio, which actually is like the thing is I need to like look at my and speak properly here on these matters and actually look at exactly the name of the portfolio so that I don't speak out of turn.
I know Angie's one.
Yeah,
It's the
Angie's got the Minister of
army.
Defense. Yeah, she got defense with our general
Like,
there as deputy. But
like
where is it now, man? Yes,
there's so much like I don't understand. Yeah, yeah.
land reform and rural development. That has
Hmm.
gone to the head of the PAC,
Oh,
and
they
and
gave
and,
it
and
to the PAC.
yeah, and
And I
and
think
truth
out
be
of the whole
told,
thing, that's like the smartest thing, like roundabout.
because their manifesto, one of their highlights was always about the land reform and rural development. So now we're saying,
Mm.
okay, you are talking it, do it. Yeah, you
Poco.
are there now. You are there in the mix now to try and do that shit. You
Kwenza
know, uh,
umphokoqo.
and then another interesting one was John Steenhuisen as agriculture. That's
Yeah.
it's I don't know. I mean,
That
I
speaks
guess
that speaks to food security. That speaks to a large fraternity that white capital is around. I mean, like it's farming. If you want to talk, food security, farming, and not agriculture, and also if you're gonna go down to the Western Cape, you were talking our export, like wine and all of that. So to an extent it's speaking to a particular a business interest that is predominantly white in the country, I believe.
so. They've also split agriculture. Before it used to be agriculture, forestry, fisheries, and
Yes,
environment.
yes.
Now it's two separate portfolios. Now it's just agriculture on its own, and then they have forestry. Both have gone to the DA, mind you,
Mm-hmm.
but they have ANC and IFP deputy ministers. So basically, like there's nobody like running their own ship, even in the portfolios that were given to the opposition parties or the former opposition parties, being the DA and the
Mm.
IFP. They've set somebody in at a deputy there. Um, my exciting portfolio, sports, arts, and culture, has has gone to Gayton,
Abahambe,
and
abahambe.
I actually am very optimistic about that one, Caesar, because if 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 there's one thing we all know, if you instill a sporting culture in a community, you
Mm-hmm.
curb the children from being obscured and getting into gangsterism, into crime, into drugs. You keep them busy. And if I'm not mistaken, Gayton has always been a voice about changing the situation in the townships. And I strongly believe like he's actually gonna do a great job there because he's passionate about even the arts and culture. His first statement, like only a few people are getting the money in the artist. And also it's high time we start telling our stories. Like his first, like, I'm like, and he's a troublemaker. I like that about him. So I
Yeah, yeah.
know, I know that he's like sports You watch, man. I'm confident about him being in that portfolio because I feel like he's the right kind of person to really speak up for reform and change in the townships. To
Mm.
he also says he wants to make spinning a sport. By the way, as in spinning cars.
Spinning cars. JC, no me masha kanta. Is it the things that I'm worried about now? Like,
But
what
I
are you gonna
found
need
that,
to do, like, in order to do, like, to get into
but that
spinning?
shit,
Like, which
but
part of your
I'm
body are you working
you.
out? Like, like what?
You must watch a series on thing, man, on Showman, so documentary. It's called Spinners, I think. That thing is an
Yeah.
actual, like, it takes practice. It's actually, there's actual huge community that goes out in certain areas to watch these guys spinning. But it being a sport, I don't know.
Look. I'm quite optimistic, like, as well, right? This
Yeah,
can definitely be speaking to what do you call them? Um, Lord, TVET colleges. This
yeah,
this is going to speak to skill acquisition, like, motor mechanics, like, engineering. And it kind of like takes me back to how bad I've always felt about PE, because we've always, I mean, like, the entire Eastern Cape, we've always gone on about it being the Detroit of South Africa. I mean, like,
yeah.
you've got
But
Mercedes
that's
Benz,
gone.
you've got like all of those
GM,
people, you know. A-
VW.
And
Mm.
one of the yeah, and one of the things that people keep missing is that, like, most of the businesses that are largely abandoned in Kabeja and Etinaja as well, and other places, those industrial areas, they were actually component manufacturers, which were
Mm.
supporting these car manufacturers. There was a tiny bit of a culture, if you remember, I mean, like, from when we were at school, when you look at taxis that pick kids up, they're all done up, they're all like zhuzhed up. Like, I mean, you find that in Durban right now, which was an opportunity. If a person owned an Opel Monza, they would do it up, um,
Sure.
um, um, so there was that culture that could have been um, encouraged. So I guess spinning. I'm here. I don't believe I'm here advocating for the minister of sports. But definitely, sis, I hear you because there are issues such as gangsterism. And I was saying, talking to somebody, and saying that the reason that our kids are sitting at home with nothing to do but being on a laptop, basically frying their brains, because they're not even doing much there. They're watching 30-second videos that either gonna make them laugh or make them go there's no getting out and doing stuff out. So it will speak to things like gangsterism, which is an issue. Probably you're gonna say that I'm being, what do they call it, I'm picking on colored people, but, like, I went to a colored school. I understand, and I know the nature. I know a lot of guys that I went to school with that are no longer there. So it becomes a bit of a challenge. So yeah, we still have tiny connection issues with my boy. I think he's back. I think he's back. I think he's back. Let me do his thing. I've got an opinion here coming from Mazwai. Um, He says spinning should start in foundation phase, which is for what was why yeah, be foundations stage.
And I mean, because first of
Doesn't
all, you
get
have to
you.
be over. First of all, you have to be over the right age to drive.
Of
So
course,
it's only like literally a thing you can only teach people from the age of like 16 or 17 legally. It's not, sorry, man, I spoke, man. So I was just cleaning up. So my
that's okay.
apology for that.
My,
Yeah,
my
we
my
are
drink
live,
is
so
still
live things.
intact,
So live things do happen, unfortunately. Yeah.
and that's the
So
beauty about this, man.
yeah, no doubt. So I mean, firstly, I will respect the fact that you are encouraging the whole entire thing. So spinach should start in the foundation phase. I mean, as humorous as it may sound and may be, but truth be told, everything has to start from a foundation space before it gets to the next stage, the next. I mean, how do you score that sport? How do you?
Yeah,
Who's the winner? What do you have a co-pilot in the car? Is there a
Mm,
uniform to it? There's so many things into coming
dude.
up when you're doing a sport. Like, is there an attire? Does your car have to be a certain engine size? Or like boxing, whereby there's like lightweight, middleweight. So the bigger engine cars go against the higher engine
Yeah,
cars.
there'll be a particular category for them.
So I mean, as much as I think Gaten is making a bit of a wish list there, but truth be told, the mechanics of that, the mechanics of actually developing any sport, it's it's not up in place. But I
And
encourage anything that's gonna keep people from being doing the wrong things, from
destructive,
drug
yeah.
abuse, from joining gangs, and because I mean the things that we always advocate about. Let's take cricket for example. A lot of people were moaning about the fact that there was no black players in the cricket team besides two and the others. And I'm thinking like it's a system issue. Truth be
Hmm.
told, and that is exactly what the purpose of a minister of sports or arts and culture is there to do, to implement policy so that in the townships, the schools actually have a sport curriculum. After teachers are working with basic education, say teachers are forced to teach kids after school, kuyiwe baleni, physical education, all those things.
You,
So
you,
it's
you know,
and
Zizi,
also yeah, sorry,
sorry, like all of these things were there before. You,
yeah.
you know, they've always been there. Where you know that after school you're not exactly going home after that you playing some form of sports. If you're talking things like agriculture, I mean back then with Bantu education and everything, obusazi ndabana kukho period yokuya garden,
Mm.
where you doing gardening.
And that's like a
But
life skill.
as apartheid would have designed it, they made things like accounting like far to reach. It was easier to become a farmer than to become a person who understands the whole cycle of food security and providing. So they were there. There's a lot. I always look back, and this episode I really don't want to um be poking on the ruling party in the past 30 years, even though the fact remains is that you fucked up. Okay, yeah, let me say that and get that out of the way. But
These are
there's
his
so
views, by
much.
the way, not mine. I don't think they
No, no, no,
fucked
it's
up. I
my
just think
personal
they were
views. Is
complacent. I just think they were
it's our fucking
complacent.
podcast, like, yeah, go
But
fly a
listen, you
kite.
see, Caesar, it's one of two things.
I'm not
It's
fighting, I'm not
no,
fighting,
no, 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 no. I'm
I'm
not
just stating
fighting, and neither,
facts.
and neither am I defend. No, no, but it's not facts though, and Caesar. Here's the thing, though. It's either you look at it as the glass being half empty or half full, and if how you look at it is how you will end
Nangoko
up
multi,
determining.
guys.
That's how you end up determining whether it's bullshit or not, or they fucked up. You can't deny the good that has been done. So, are you gonna say for the 60% good and the 40% that's
No, no,
horrible,
no, no,
it's
no, no,
fucked
no, no,
up?
no. Now I have an issue when you're gonna say it's 60% good and not, like, because the
Ah,
fact, no, Caesar, like,
you
let's
take
go.
things so for granted, Caesar. The
I'm
basis
not
that you did
taking
not have
Caesar. I'm
in the
not taking
past,
anything for
a basis.
granted. I'm taking you. Like, I always stop myself short of revealing this, but if you fucked up from the very document that you signed, that you are giving people evergreen contracts, you people who've been dying for decades, and you are telling me that you are not saying to these people, we are going to get your land. You are basically saying to the people who own property along the coast, where they could have like partnered with black people and said, this is your land, we want to beautify it and do this so that it's commercially viable. You guys retain the title deeds. This is what we will do. You went to 1994 and you fucking like didn't do anything about that. So that's what pisses me off, first of all. And given the 30 years and everything else that came with it, as I said, I've got not so like I'm not really totally negative in terms of what like the
You
ANC
are
has done.
not.
Like, let's go.
Wow.
I'm not entirely, but there's no way you could be
The
giving
things you
them
speak of, Caesar,
60%.
are the things
You
you speak
can't be
of
giving them
are a wish
60%,
list. And
Caesar.
in terms of practicality, it just doesn't work that way. It just doesn't. It does not. As much as we'd want it to, it just does not. Like,
You
but
didn't
anyway,
go to you didn't go to war. You didn't go to war for the damn country. The best that you can do is sit and have a robust Codesa or whatever the hell that you guys had, and say that like this is what the people want. Let's find a way of appeasing black people. You can't come after 30 years. If you think and you look about it, you look at this thing right now, it's like going back and like the same thing that happened when they introduced apartheid. We'll give you this, the townships, will take this. There, people didn't have a choice. Right now, you have your own damn president. You have 30 years of doing this thing. And the people of South Africa, majority black, gave you like 40%. They gave you 40% because, like, all of these years, for 30 years, they've been saying, you fucking up here, but you keep stealing, you keep doing all of these things. You can't even get like basic education right, which is my gripe with the fact that, like, is still sitting there. What are you going to do with them with the army?
okay. I have no comments, Caesar, because
Mm,
then we'll end up speaking for over 2 hours about this, and I'll
about
give you my
this.
side, and we'll get more passionate about it. And I think it's just a matter of we just have different views of how we're looking at.
You should have invited as crazy as they are, as unplanned as they are, or as uncurated as they are. Because now what you are going to have, you have this government of national unity, and you are going to have the EFF and MK in opposition benches going, yeah, you gave up the land, now you're working with the thing for the next goddamn 5 years. For the next
But
5
isn't
years,
it,
that's what's going to be going
isn't it
on. It's going to be
presumptuous?
driving.
Isn't it,
It's
is
it
it not
No, that's
presumptuous
what's
to
going
think
to
it's going to happen?
happen. Look at the constituency.
If it
People
happens,
spoke,
okay, okay, okay.
people
Hold on,
spoke
hold
through
on.
their votes.
If it doesn't happen, are we going to talk about this again?
If it
If it doesn't happen, you are being presumptuous that that's going to be
Oh yes,
the
I
order of the
am.
day in
Like, no, no,
Parliament.
no. Certainly I
Okay.
am. If
The
things go
same
the
way, the
opposite, if
same way a month ago you were presumptuous about load shedding is coming back. It's just elections, and I said to you, you cannot bullshit 100 days. You can bullshit 30 days, but not 100 days. And I said to you, load shedding is most likely near the end. And you thought I was being, I'm supporting my guys. No, some things you just have to wait. We are almost at like what 200 days. There's two power stations that are up to 800 megawatts. Hey, listen here, man. People are working. Like the rate lamlungu. Ungapi states bakabuyiso abanjwe anye yena because he
no,
is trying to fuck
like
country.
the minister, I just as I said, Sisa, like we kind of like play devil's advocate up in here, right? We host, but
No, that guy must
obviously
be charged. That guy
personal
must be called by
opinions are gonna be.
parliament abizwe kuthiwe fondini wawusitting bethini nithile kanti all along all you're trying to do is to wear down the power utility so that you can privatize so that your friends in Stellenbosch can start buying portions of Eskom. And you kept on saying akusebenzi akusebenzi. These guys have shown you that actually if you do certain things, but nobody's talking about
Look,
that.
I have to I have to take my hat off to the Minister of Electricity.
Mazwa is killing me.
I really have to take my hat off to that dude. What the fuck you know?
Ngihlehla ngumazwayi uthi slime man uzonyukela iswekile xhego akaxoki hlisa umoya bro hlisa umoya.
No,
Ngixolele
Mazwai,
mthanam.
the thing is like this is the reason Sikale podcast. It's for us to have a platform where you are not going to be restricted in terms of how you feel, and express it obviously in a responsible manner, and it is also understood in the manner it is your personal opinions. It is not that of anybody else, because we are not answerable to a corporation or anything. It is creating a platform for people to just have conversations. And as we have it, Zizi, like most times, like we are on the opposite sides of the spectrum, both of us, and it's just to
Especially
create
political.
conversation. Sorry.
Especially political. We are,
Especially politically, yeah.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
it is for nabanya bantu nomdo mameleyo like at home. It's like obviously you won't be able to join us, but like your comments, like Kumazwai, just give us your opinion about where we are sitting as a country.
Sure.
Um, like somebody was saying in Dokbana, they feel general
Yeah.
all of me should have been given defense. Kind of like a
He
no-brainer
must
type of
win
thing,
votes,
but
Caesar. He
like
must win votes. He must win votes. He must first
uyenza
win
ntoni
votes.
urhulumente yasemqanduli?
No, 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 no. I mean,
No, but he's
my dog, I
deputy,
got
isn't
it.
he?
Yes, he's deputy. But look, good color and why in a song main. If you main winner elections, get more
Like,
votes. That's it.
yeah,
It's the basic.
and I think at
But
some point
anyway,
though.
I think the first order of business that our friend we were talking about here, Umdaga 18. So Tyler won 2 BT awards last night.
Oh
The
yeah,
first
oh
African
yeah.
to win 2 BT back to back. She won for best new artist, which is the first African to win a best new artist at BT, and then she
Mm-hmm.
won the best international act as well.
Mm-hmm.
So can see the
Yep.
first order. I'm sure Biklamba and Master Kent Kalugu Tyler Paguye.
Okay, my
Sure,
Marsha.
because I'm going
No,
to
but like, what
airport.
happened with that whole thing? Wasn't she on Charlemagne the God's interview, and like they had the whole thing with.
All listen, you and I will not find that to be a story. So the bottom line is that
Sure.
Americans don't understand that that we actually have a race called colored people. To them, all
Mm.
black people are colored. So because she is referred to herself as being colored, there's been so her management was like, we're not going to answer that because I think they're just tired of Americans thinking that life works how they work. Coloreds are
You
not
see.
ashamed to be called coloreds. And I think it was like, how are you
Mm.
colored when you look Indian? So that was the issue. They don't understand that we actually have African black, colored, white. I mean, those are our ethnic
Malaysian
races
colors and yeah.
in South Africa. And the thing is, it's just a case of them, typical of Americans, but not wanting to accept that other places. I mean, they called the guys who win the NBA world champs. World champs of what? Like it's only you guys
The
playing
52
there.
states, and that's it.
Yeah, no, the world champions. We are the world champions. That's why they were so mad at that sprinter on the USA team. And they said, the world champions of what?
What?
The world. He had just won some IAAF international sports thing. He was like,
But
the world champions of what? Please, man. Until
yeah,
you win
but
something.
I have to concur with you, man. Omakazi, like I was always, I even noted it down. It doesn't matter whether it's sports or just life in general. I'm always
Yeah.
vouching for the underdog, and for a person who took so much flack, from her own people in her
I do
own
not know a
country.
single song of
Um,
Makadzi, by the
uh,
way. I don't know her
you,
music at
you
all, man.
don't.
Kolel.
I
Me
just
too.
know that. I just know the dances, the
Man,
Shanghai
good.
dances.
I want to please. I know you can't. There are things I know that you should not try and tempt on this
Yeah, I'm a
show. Yes,
DJ. I should stick to that shit.
yes, Totela, viewers, please, Usnet.
But
Um,
most important about that, sorry, this is about
yeah,
Landigo Omakadze. Before Landigo will bounce from that, she won Best New International Act. Now Omakadze has been around for quite some time, building her career, but she's out there as the best international. And this is a message I just wanted to pass on to everybody who's doing anything, be it business or especially like in the music
yeah.
space. You are forever a new artist because there are people who keep discovering you all the time. So one would ask, best new international, but she's been around for quite some time. Well, it was probably the first time that international ears were hearing her, and for her consistency, her professionalism, her commitment to her arts is exactly why she walks away with the BET award. Will Smith.
Oh yeah, she did win an award. I saw that. I just thought she was a nominee, but I didn't know she actually won. Okay, that's awesome. I'm
Yeah.
just glad that it's a South African person winning whatever. But like, art is an amazing thing. When I keep on saying, uh, hey, Mazwai loves controversy. Uh, I will
Is it
answer you
him
right now
again?
about
Isn't it?
well, with regards to the cricket. It was unfortunate, man. I didn't even watch it. I must be honest.
Mm.
I lost interest in cricket many moons ago. because I just always felt Guti, cricket is just not a transformed sport in this country, and that is. But you know what? We did well. We made it all the way to the finals, and we lost like in the dying seconds of the game. I've been seeing clips of they questioning whether Miller was out with that catch. That guy stood on the line,
Oh
but
yeah.
we can talk about that forever and ever. But the bottom line is that's not going to change the outcome. So I just feel like it's a wasted breath to let's cheer the boys. They did well. First and
Yeah.
foremost, it was the first time South Africa had ever been in any World Cup cricket final, whether T20 or ODI. So
Nah,
that
most
is
deaf.
an that's
Most
an
deaf.
applause. That's an applause on its own.
And I need to hurry up and go and hit the bathroom very quickly. But you talking to people about Kevin Johnson not being part of the Kaiser Chiefs cabinet reshuffle, is this part of the conversation that you had with the
Sizwe,
chairman?
masulibuza loo nto leyo mi bro. Sulibuza loo nto leyo mi bro. Mna, I do not
I just
talk
need to go to the
football.
bathroom quickly. Like you can address the people so that we can
No,
hear opinions as well.
I do not talk about Kaiser Chiefs. I will only talk about them halfway through the season when they're doing whatever they're doing over there. Uh, but back to cricket. It's I don't know what needs to be done. Do we have more black players or not? I don't know. I mean, I don't want to make the assumption that we don't have or we do have. I don't follow cricket enough to know from under 19s to under 21s what is happening in the system. My opinion regarding the T20 World Cup, well done to the Proteas. That was yeah, like I said, it was our first time ever in a World Cup final, T20 or ODI. We've always fell short in the semis. I mean, we all can remember in '99 how painful it was with Lance Klusen and Alan Donald, like like missing out on us getting to the final. Yeah, I used to watch cricket back then, but I'm saying cricket. I mean, it's just I don't know. I just feel like the less we I think they do well. Fun Bafana actually. Like Bafana, the less we don't watch them, we see very serious Dabian, but oh wow, they've done well, and that is pretty awesome. So yeah, no, keep the questions coming, guys, as we keep going along. And then what else has happened this week? Nothing much. I'm just gonna, I guess, wait for Caesar to come back, and then, as per always, I will give you my music review for the week, and then before the show ends, I'll be tapping into what is my movie review and what is it suggestion, I guess, for the week. What I watched, what was great, and what has been hot in the scene. So please, I do encourage you guys to keep asking us, or rather posing questions, and thank you for having a live audience. I think this is pretty awesome. Please do join us again when we do that. I think Caesar, now is the time for me to get on to the music review for the week. What do you think? I think it's about that time, right? I can't hear you, dog. You are muted right there.
Um,
Yeah, I
Yo,
can hear
man.
you right.
Very interesting. Very interesting as far as music is concerned. I saw a post that you shared on Facebook, and I had a bit of time to actually take in some new music. I think it was a Saturday morning or something like that. And I listened to the first song. Can you hear me now? I listened
Yeah,
to the
well, I haven't started yet. You put in the cart before the horse. I've not even mentioned the album or who the artist is. We'll get to them.
Did I
So
mention
I'll just
it?
no. You are about to.
Yeah, you are about to. No, I was just gonna talk about that song. Like, when I picked that up and I listened to the first song, and I was with somebody who was not even into hip hop or R&B. But Thandela Maskandi wabo, or brothers. So it's like, no, but like I know this song, man, Sly, and I'm like, yeah. But let's get to the.
Yeah. So this week my review is Marsha Ambrosius, the English lady who was a duo group member with a group called Floetry. They were quite a thing back in the early 2000s. Anyway, she's got a solo career and she's been signed to Dre's Aftermath. I think this will be her second or third album under Aftermath. Uh, the album is called Casablanca. uh, I guess Casablanca, touching on Casablanca in Casablanca is in Morocco. Yeah, yeah, I'm not mistaken. So anyway, so the whole entire album is produced by Dr. Dre. He produced it's 11 songs on the album. So I'm trying to start this as polite as I can and without being misunderstood. So firstly, the album I think is good. I think it's a good album. I think it's a good body of work. Um, if you are a fan of music, but let's say you're not really meticulous and you're not like like go into depth about it, you will think it's really awesome. Where have a problem with the album, or rather, a bit of for me it was underwhelming. You know, it was underwhelming because I found that excuse me, I found that so firstly let me talk about the album, how the album was done. So basically, so they started recording the album in 2021, if I'm not mistaken, around COVID time. And Dre and a team of young producers, or I don't know how young or old, they started working and writing songs and everything. And they kind of pretty much finished the body of the work in that 2 weeks, 3 weeks. What took them so long to even release it was clearing the music. So they sampled a lot and they had to get the rights correct and getting the songs cleared and all of that legal battle that artists go through when they are recording new music. That was the delay in the album. So talking about the sampling of the album is where my so all 11 album, I mean, they sampled from Nas, they sampled from Wu-Tang Clan, they sampled from Method Man, they sampled from KRS-One, they sampled from John Coltrane and Duke Ellington, they sampled from Michael Jackson, all 11 songs. So not a single song is like I'd call like sheer original creativity from scratch song. You know, all the songs are have part elements of or samples. It's been musically, it's I mean, it's been beautifully mixed. It's been put together well, but I just Dre doesn't do an album often. Like he does, like he produces and makes music like almost like every 8 years and 10 years. And if you're gonna be so absent from making new music, my ask would have been for you to give us something really new rather than sampling from your peers. If the album was a concept album and it was an album that we all knew they paying an ode to their music peers or to hip hop or to R&B or to just music in general, or they paying homage to their favorite musicians or their favorite songs, yeah, you know, perhaps I would possibly be less as critical of the album, you know, but I just felt that they could have given us more. And I just wanted new music, man. They've been talking about it, like dropping hints about it for the last 2, 3 years. So it was underwhelming for me. That does not take away the fact that it was a good album. It's a good album. It is a good album. Don't get me wrong, but I wanted more. That's the truth of the matter. That is the
Mm.
truth of the matter. But yeah, man. So that is that. I mean, I'm not even. I really never rate albums or give them like a 3 out of 5 or whatever it is. I'm not gonna do that with this one. Like
Oh,
I
come
don't want to
on,
do.
come on. But
Nah.
you've done that with a couple of them.
I guess because those ones, and also you know the album came out on Friday. It's so new. Maybe I need to listen to it a couple more
Mm,
times,
mm.
and then my opinion might change of it. But like I will not stop being disappointed by the fact that there was no original music on the album.
Yeah.
That for me was a letdown. I wish they'd given us more. But beyond that, it's a good album. It's a good album. I can't. And yeah, you insisting on this, so I'll give it a 7, man, because I must say the mixing was 7 out of 10. The mixing
Okay.
and listen, it doesn't take. Not anybody can just take a sample here and here and put it together, and it actually fuses and actually comes out nice. That I gotta give like Dre showed his experience there because some of the samples are not the entire song. He drops them for like 10 seconds, you know, and then pulls them out again. That was, but I mean, it's what he does. He was a DJ, and I guess it's easy for him to come up with that kind of mixing,
Creative expression.
you know.
Mm.
So, but like, I wanted new music, man. That's my gripe. So yes, I'll give it a 7 because it is a good album,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, nah, I feel you. I feel you, and I'm sure your peeps that are into Dre, because I could see in those comments on that Facebook comment, like, yeah, ah,
But
yeah.
the people who I just forget the name, like some of the guys who are purists, I found, you know, like they were feeling my tempo. They were like, thank you. Someone actually agrees with what I'm saying. We're really hoping for some new music. But
Hmm.
but yeah, it's a good album. 7 out of 10. That's it. That's what I'll give it. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Next.
All right, that's done. Dusted, busted. um, Bafana, like we just moving from side to side, right? I don't want to talk about videos that I keep seeing. Common and Pit Rock, been out, I think, like for a while. But obviously, I still want to say this to those few people that are watching. In terms of guests that we have on the show, I mean, like we've had Anelemta. We profiled her. We spoke to Synopsis all the way
Synopsis.
from North Carolina, who is a producer. And I think, as Usisa always says, Orara, that we know we're not looking at a particular field. The next person that we want to have is an engineer. The next person that we want to have is
Is a
psychologist,
banker. You
is
know,
a
whatever.
banker. Yeah. Oh, Mula, bro. Yeah.
Yeah,
And by
yeah,
the way,
yeah.
where's the rent sitting now?
You know, it actually like went the week of inauguration. It actually went under 18 rands for the first time in a while. It was sitting at like the day of inauguration. But man, let's not talk about that, man, because I honestly feel that it is manipulated to suit a certain narrative that only when white people of the DA are within the government, the world becomes at ease and says, "Oh, okay, great." Actually, and then all of a sudden, the market just I mean, those things they annoy me. Truth be told,
Are you
they
indirectly agreeing with me? Because it boils down to, if you want to build a robust nation, you tear down the fact, or the fact that the markets are going to respond negatively
man, fuck the
to a
markets. We have
certain
enough of our own shit
announcement
here.
that's being
I keep
made.
saying,
Thank
fuck
you.
the
Which
markets.
also speaks to the rand, which also speaks to the fact that, like, we have BRICS. Okay, now where we say we
Why
want
we are
our
not
thing,
working with
all
the
of these
Chinese and the
things that these
Russians?
people have had all of this time. Look at Putin and thingy, who's my dog, man.
The bromance,
Who's the
the guy
North
from
Korean?
North Korea.
That's like, look at that friendship, bro. Look at how those guys, like, listen, look, people have been
I
talking, like, all of that
I
is
I
over. Let's
suspected
go take a.
an AI there. Those
No,
two took
that's
them on a
AI
roller
though.
coaster, and
That's AI.
the
And you see
bromance
them
was too much.
in the club.
Even fighting. That is
And
mad funny.
blazing up a fat one in the car.
Hello, hello, Azola. Now siyakubulisa. Ngadiba sikubulisa nganamba you are waving. We are waving right
Yeah,
back at
AZ,
you.
thank you so much. AZ, by the way, uba ngabe ukhona umuntu ofuna simsondeze sincokole naye, please, by all means. I know that we've lined up a whole lot of great people, of this particular generation that we are going to be talking about, that are doing crazy, crazy and amazing stuff. And may we not forget, Halloween was celebrating, what was it, 20, 30 years?
It no 25 years.
25 years, yes, of Ilandi.
25 years.
Man, I
25
have to
years.
give it up to Umama Gamagesh for the courage to go there and be there, and yeah. But anyway,
That was shot
yeah,
a few months ago, but yeah, I guess we got to see it live on about 2 weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken. But
yeah.
yeah, that was super dope.
Yeah. And geez, like there's a whole lot of stuff. I just picked up like randomly. What's his name? Let me find where are my pictures. Where are my pictures? Where are my pictures at? Where are my pictures at? We still have a movie coming up, by the way. We still have a movie review.
Yeah,
So don't go anywhere. We're coming at you with that. Um, who's this guy? I just picked up Lebu Kungulu's. I saw a headline like he's going back to music. Was there a particular time that he did music?
music.
Yeah,
Nah,
that's
I
what the
have
headline was. That's what the headline was
I
saying.
that's the first time I'm hearing about that. I
Yeah.
don't know labs are involved in anything music related.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking he was a manager before his shift into the business sector. Gunguluza managed DJ Fresh, Mendoza, Chiscorp through Gunguluza Entertainment.
I think he was at SABC, which is where maybe the remember he was I think he was in advertising at
Yeah,
SABC
yeah, yeah, yeah.
back in the days.
Mm,
So
yeah.
perhaps I don't know. That'll be interesting
Yeah.
if
So apparently,
if
like he's back in the headlines, and he's looking for five DJs that are gonna be five female DJs that are gonna be given an experience of their lifetime,
But I
and
did
all of
see
that.
somewhere along the line there was some music expo or academy that was going to be happening in Midrand soon. I think he's involved in that. So it's like
Mm,
almost like a workshop over 2 days. It's like you know what? Maybe we'll speak about it next time because
yeah.
I prefer to speak about things that I'm more knowledgeable about. But yeah, man, I don't know.
Have you-
That's it for
mm.
me. Yeah, when you're ready for the movie review, let me know, man. I'm ready. I'm always ready. I
Mm.
was born ready.
And and I know one thing that was that got wrapped up. It was the 50th year of the National Arts Festival. It used to be a Standard Bank National Arts Festival. It
Makanda,
was
yeah.
for a very long time in Makanda. Yeah, there was that going on, and I remember reading a story about what does it really mean for Aban Basemakanda? It's 50 years of this thing. Are they ripping like small businesses apart from you going to put up Twendolandi hot dog stand during that time and that is it? And then it's like, are they partaking in serious money making business opportunities? Are they coached? Are there art centers in Makanda?
Mhm.
Yeah, or the money just
Well,
goes.
that it's funny you talk about that, Caesar. Like even Standard Bank pulling out. I believe I've heard that Standard Bank didn't pull out; they were pushed out. They
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
municipality
No,
said,
of
no,
course.
we want to do this ourselves
Mm-hmm.
without, and I think that bombed. Hence, Standard Bank is now a co-sponsor, but no longer the name sponsor.
The name sponsor. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
because yo, man, that is only for themselves to blame for that. Why would they push out? You need a sponsor to keep things alive, unfortunately.
we need a
So,
sponsor right now.
point precisely. So I don't even know who came up with that decision to push them out because Standard Bank was happy
It's
with
the
that
reason why we're
sponsorship.
sitting where we're sitting with a government of national unity, if you ask me.
So imeya phaa emakhanda yavele yathi mabahambe intsangu
Look,
mos lesizwe.
look. The thing is, bye bye.
Because that just makes no sense.
Yeah, yeah.
And the last time I was at the arts festival, I was like, "Hey man, this thing has always been a part of my schooling." I remember from standard
Sure.
two, every we'd go to the I Stedford, there at the Union buildings for the I Stedford, and then there'd be like plays, and then there'd be sports, all the way till I started
Mm.
enjoying the groove of the arts festival. No longer the school
I
thing where I'm
listen to
playing
the
sports.
groove.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Upotsoi, that's
But
but it's always been a really
mm,
fun thing to do. And I went there, when was it, man? I think about 4 years ago, 5 years ago.
mm.
We happened to be in P and we went for a day there. And man, it was so dead. It was painful. That's when I got to hear about no Standard Bank has pulled out, or not pulled out, they were pushed out. Bathi
Yeah.
bazazenzela umasipala waphayana and yeah.
Yeah, it's different for me. I don't remember going there besides when I was schooling there. Um, uh, I think I might have gone once or twice when we managed to steal a car or whatever. But
Are you admitting to theft, Caesar? Are you admitting to crime, theft in your youth?
I'm not encouraging, but at least I'm not encouraging any young ass motherfucker to be doing that shit, dog, right? Like, yeah.
Okay,
I mean, that
I
was
know.
back in the day. That was back in the day. That was during apartheid. So, the slack was on the apartheid police, not, you know. Yeah,
Let's
but
get to the
I,
movie
I
review.
remember.
Let's
Yeah,
get to the movie
I
review.
used to run as I load that. I used to. I think roundabout festival we would run. Geez, we would collect stories for Radio Grahamstown. Um,
You were at Rhodes for a while, boss,
basically
right?
the sound, yeah, sound bites. We would walk
Yeah.
up to the monument and possibly, and like sometimes you would do it 2 times a day because you missed out, like you went for a donny, like a morning show, and there's another one in the evening, and you need to come back and file those stories. And some of them, people who were into print, they would do them. I think the publication, it was called Q. I think it was called Q, the publications that
Yeah.
that would run, like, during the festival. So it was a very crazy time when everybody else was having fun. We were out here like collecting stories and freezing
But
our
you're
butts
paying your
off.
school
So
fees, nigga. You know what I'm saying? You're paying your school fees of journalism right there at that moment in time.
yeah, yeah,
No doubt.
yeah, yeah. Man, it's time for us to go check out what's going on as far as the movies are concerned. And I remember
Yeah,
hearing
so
some.
play the trailer at
Yeah.
the end though. But yeah, let's kick it.
And no, certainly.
Yes, sir.
I don't know why my everything is moving a little bit slow
Yeah,
today.
today's been a bit of a woozy one, but yeah, but
That's a
yeah,
woozy
it is what it
one.
is.
Yeah.
Yes, say that again.
Um, yeah, but it's all the experience. I mean, like I remember speaking to one guy I haven't spoken to in forever, and he was saying,
Hmm.
"Sly, I'm starting a podcast." I'm like, "Hey, by all means, you don't need the ICASA or the whatever to give you a license to do
It's
this
not
thing.
easy
As long
though,
as you
as long as
have a
they know
story,
that.
it's damn not easy, bro. There's nothing easy about it. I think just to give you just a tiny one. We run this live. When you're running a live show, you need a team, all right, of people, an average of 3 cameras. You need a lighting person. You need an audio person. You need a technical producer. You need a content producer. You need somebody who's on your ears. You need a gaffer. Well, gaffer is like part of the audio person. Is that person who holds the mic during the thing. So it takes a lot. There are ways you can do it out there, and I encourage people. We are entrepreneurs, Sisa and I. Largely, we work for ourselves. All right. And if you have a question around podcasting or whatever, we want to learn and grow with other people as well, and even invite you to a point where you are a constant feature on this podcast. But for now, I think it's time for us to do this. Is
Oh yes, it is that time. So this week, the movie review is a movie I actually discovered over the weekend. Funny enough, I didn't. Most movies are like I kind of like await the launch or kind of have anticipation of a certain movie coming out. And this one, I just stumbled upon it. The movie is called Ezra. It's a movie that came out, I think, on cinemas a few months ago. It's actually a new movie out on circuit. It's called Ezra, and why I felt the need to do this review. It's such a touching movie. It touches on a lot on a reality of a lot of parents who have children who are autistic,
Mm.
who have the disability challenges, from the parent down to the child. It's so the story is, it's got a good cast, by the way. So it's got Bobby Knievel. He is the lead actor. Robert De Niro plays his father,
Yeah.
and Rose Byrne plays the mother of the autistic child, whose name is Ezra, by the way. And it also has Whoopi Goldberg as well in the movie. He plays Bobby Knievel's manager. So Bobby Knievel is a comedian, stand-up comedian, by the way. And how he does his comedy, he talks about his real life. He talks about his autistic son, about how raising this child that is autistic, and so but like in a humorous, not making fun of his child, of course, but like kind of sharing the human reality of his life and the challenges of raising a child with a disability. And so obviously Ezra is, but the thing is, Ezra goes to a normal school, whereas he should be in a special school. But so the father and mother are no longer together.
Mm.
Rose Byrne and Bobby Knievel. So Bobby Knievel, he lives with his father, which is Robert De Niro, you know, and I guess they have shared custody rights. Rose Byrne, the mother of the child, is married, or I think she's married. I'm not sure. I can't remember if she's married or they're just like partners with the person she lives with, who's a lawyer, which is actually acted by Tony Goldwyn, who's actually the director of the movie. And just some interesting facts about the movie. So the guy who wrote the movie is a guy called Tony Spirodakis, and the reason why he wrote the script and wrote this movie is that he has an autistic child, and he was inspired by to write a story about the relationship. And one of the things he says is that he writing this movie, what it produced in him was the fact that he realized that he didn't have to fix anything with his child. It's just, so it's a compassionate movie. It's a touching movie. One of the reviews I read said that the movie is heartfelt, funny, and intimate, and I think that is so true. So it's touching. So to not spoil the movie so much, so the premise is that the mother and has a fallout with the father of the child, and one evening he decides to pick up his son who's autistic. By the way, they casted a real autistic child, by the way. They had to like literally go around America looking to cast to make it as authentic as
That's
possible.
crazy, man.
And an autistic acting child, and so they go on a road trip, and they're on their way to LA, but against the mother's will. Like, he sneaks in and takes the child at night. The boy must be about anything between 12 and 13, so those kind of ages. But like, it's there's parts of it you feel like, why is this father not listening to his son? The son will say, the autistic children don't want to be touched. Some of them, they have certain things, and he's trying to make his son to be so normal, when the reality is that the son is not normal. But
Mm.
obviously it's, man, I don't know, it's a very touching movie. It's drama, it's funny, it talks about, and it just made me realize, that parents who raise children who are autistic, I commend them, because it takes a lot, and also the community around your child, because and I've seen autistic children don't ever wanting to be, no, don't treat them like they're stupid. Those kind of things, they can hear you, they just have challenges, they have a learning disability, or whatever type of disability, which makes them, because autism has very various ranges in terms of, you can meet two autistic people and you find that one is extreme, one is not extreme. So I mean, I'm not well versed in talking about the condition, but but obviously it's a reality we live in life. And I was thinking about the other day, how many adult autistic people do we actually come across? I've actually never come across many. And I ask myself, why did they manage to manage it? Or
Mm.
if you think about it, you see a lot of like supposedly autistic children or whatever it is, but you'll never like uh, um, see an adult autistic person. I don't know, maybe you may have come across them or not. But anyway, this movie is a great movie. It's a real good movie. It's educational. It teaches. And yeah, it's a really, really good movie with a good cast. Yeah, I encourage, especially it displays a lot of compassion. So you gotta like watch it and you're like, oh, jeez, and you start having thoughts about that child that you grew up in your neighborhood, whose parents may not have had the money to take them to a doctor to actually realize that it's actually autism. You just found them weird. It's very there's an educational element to it, and it
Mm.
helps us as humans to realize that we are all not the same, and also autistic people are not stupid. Like people like
Far
have
from
a
it.
tendency of treating them as if so it deals with that. And I mean, another fun fact, I mean, I read up about it, that apparently like the director ended up getting like a multiple autistic crew members to ensure
Ah,
the
man.
authenticity. So even some of the gaffers, the guys who hang things,
They
and other
don't
crew on
yeah.
set, it was just to make it more authentic. And knowing that the lead actor is actually the young boy is actually was autistic, is I was like, wow. And I mean, you can see it. I mean, you can't really act certain things. So it was yeah, man. uh, I'll say no more. Watch the trailer. Do watch it. It's a great movie.
Man, this is this is very interesting, and thank you for that, Zizi. I actually have a nephew who is autistic, and for a very long time, it had been a struggle, and I think, and obviously, I'm not gonna be divulging a whole lot of information apart from the fact that it only took the mother accepting that actually I don't need to have a lot of no's where this kid is concerned. It is enhancing what's already there, because there's a level of energy that exudes or that comes from them. So it was just one of those experiences. And probably, I mean, like, as we are getting closer to having people like clinical psychologists and such, we can actually have someone who can speak around how parents should try to manage and parent such kids, but without wasting time at all.
Oh, sorry. One
um
more, one more fun fact, by the way.
yeah.
Robert De Niro. Another reason he actually didn't. He actually asked to be in the movie. Robert De Niro, because one of his seven children is autistic. So,
Yeah.
Whoopi Goldberg requested, once she got to hear wind of this movie, requested to be in the movie. So like it's like almost like a passion project for a lot of people involved there. So it's, yeah, it's awesome.
Rara, you remember? I hope I'm not mistaken. She's still around. Jamie Foxx, actually, his favorite person in the world was actually his sister, not with autism, but like with Down syndrome. And like you could see those people vibing in a palace, like wherever he is, he would stop his bodyguards, he would stop everybody, just for her sister to have that vibe. I guess like when it hits home, you would find people like Robert De Niro and Whoopi Goldberg saying that, like, listen, this is a passion project, and I think it raises awareness in a very creative manner. And
Yeah.
I think if you are storytellers or if you are content creators out there, um, 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 there has to be a positive out of it. And it brings me to who's this guy who has that dance? Um, what's his name, man? He has his own dance. I think he's from. Oh my
Oh,
gosh,
Skomota.
Skomota,
How did I know
Skomo
you're talking about
motherfucking
Skomota with
da.
this, with the legs? Yeah.
So you come across people who have such health challenges, and it becomes important what how you bring them into what we call normality, and
Sure.
actually watch them excel. I mean, like, there are people with ADHD. You have kids with autism that are doing extremely amazing stuff. Give them a paint
Yeah.
and a brush, and see if you won't have like a painting that you would put in an exhibition
True
and one of
that.
the
True
top
that.
thingy. But anyway, we
Let's leave that for
yeah.
closing remarks. Let's watch the
Oh
trailer.
yeah, now
Yeah.
most def. Let's go.
All right.
Yeah, my
My
people.
man. Flying without a net so that he could order himself a.
Ice tea, please.
The doctor who first told me my son was autistic could have saved us both a lot of time if he just said the truth. Autistic kids don't give a. They don't. You want me to put him in a special needs school? Jenna knows I'm broke.
She knows you're still not over her. The man your age shouldn't be living with his father.
He led 20 kids onto Washington Street.
Your son has been a danger to himself.
He's not dangerous. He's a challenge. Nobody wants to do the work.
Now I see where the dangerous behavior comes from.
Son of a...
You want to do something for your son? You get yourself to LA. Jimmy Kimmel wants to book you.
What?
They're not going to fly you. Is that going to be a problem?
No.
Hey, what are you doing?
Ezra, get in the car. I need to get him away from here.
Stop taking the car. I'm making a mistake.
Pop.
All I ever wanted was just to protect our boy.
Well, I'm protecting him now.
Give your Uncle Nicky a hug, huh? Come on, come here.
Hey, where you going, Ken?
You know, the word autism comes from the Greek, in your own world. I don't want him in his own world. I want him in this world.
That kid is the one thing that I can't get wrong.
Just look him in the eye. Looking a horse in the eye, it's like sharing your soul.
Where the hell are you?
Taking a little time off with Ez.
It's not a good time to take off, Max.
You're fighting for something. You might have to suffer consequences, but it's worth it because you did it. Because you love your kid.
A dad's job is to take his son down the field. And if he gets tackled, all that dad wants is for that kid to pick up the ball and to take it the rest of the way.
The art of making and creating any and everything, Zizi. Like, I'm always in awe, man. Like, the creativity that goes into the casting direction, as you've just explained it to us. I'm sorry, I had you on mute there,
Yeah.
but
Well,
yeah, super amazing.
yeah. So the trailer, like, I mean, it's it doesn't leave much for imagination. It's pretty straight up forward what the movie's about. But like, it's a real touching movie. But like, yeah, man, I really, I'll give it a 7 out of 10. It's a really
Yeah.
good movie.
Yeah,
No doubt.
we've got a message here from Mazwai. Thank you so much for uhlala ixesha elingaka kwakunye nathi Mazwai as futu futu. This guy, I met him through Umhlobo and NFM. That's how we became friends on social media platforms.
Oh yeah.
And he's managed to build his brand around. Gonna say, I don't know whether I should reveal or we should wait when we invite him, given the comment that he has just forwarded us. Uthi ndiyabawela kwixa elizayo sike sirhabulise indlela zokwenza imali via social media. A lot of people like think that like it's stripping and being half naked. Some people think it's being obnoxious and being offensive to people. It's gonna make you funny and give you a lot of views. While there are things like like consistency. There are things like your passion, they can actually make you money. And a lot of times people think that like you have to have a big following in order for you to become these are just like gems that we probably will be talking about and have experts around. Some people think that like brands are looking for someone who has a huge following. There are niche brands that are looking for people that actually are just passionate about what they're doing and how they're curating it. So it's a very interesting topic, and thank you so much for bringing it through. I know, Zizi, we probably will are going to work something around this.
Yeah, no, true that. Like I always say, I think there's no formula. Sometimes you just strike it lucky. Like the most hideous of things. The most hideous of stories for me is, for example, I forget his name. The boy who's a TikTok, the one who does that thing. You know that one? It makes
Which
things with
one?
the. He has this thing of every time he will show a video of how stupid it is, whatever you're doing, and then do it himself, and then go. He's a black boy, man. He's an African. He lost his job, and he's become a TikTok sensation of his videos. So let's say you
Oh,
watch a video of a person tying shoelaces in a certain way, and then he'll do it simply, then he'll go, like, wow, how stupid is that? And he became a TikTok sensation purely by ridiculing how some of these videos of how complex things are, which are not complex. Yeah. So, like I say, there is no formula. If he had told someone, "Hey, I have an idea of making fun of people who do things," someone may have said, "What? That's nonsense." But so I really think there is no formula when it comes to what ticks, what makes, and the only thing that generates money on the social media is volume, numbers.
yeah.
That's the truth of the matter. It's numbers, it's volume, and if you get the numbers, then you get the sponsors. That's basically put. But in terms of what guarantees and actually works, there's no formula for that, unfortunately. No,
Look,
there
I think
isn't.
as far as this one is concerned, we might even be looking at at an entire conference on how to make money in 2024 as a young person, using what you have. Excuse me for that. Because I remember, like, I'm all about life experiences, and some people get annoyed. It's like, yeah, you're always talking about yourself. It's like, who the fuck else can I talk about? Because I went through this. I suffered.
Your own
You know
experience
what I
is
mean?
your
You're
own
gonna.
experience. I mean,
It's
really,
my
like, I
own
mean, come on.
experience. It's like I'm gonna take it. It's like, yeah, Usisa, the way he got into. Now you're gonna ask me a technical question about, or a spiritual question, or an emotional question about how he tipped over and made it. I'm not gonna be able to express it to you because it's not my experience. I always encourage people to speak from the heart and, like, to talk
No
about
doubt.
their own experiences. But anyway, man, like, that's a great one. But I see something bigger than just a podcast. But yeah, money making
Yeah, of
opportunity.
course.
Yeah,
And I feel like the steps of growth when you're doing anything which is passion driven, the rest will come later.
yeah.
The rest will fall into place. Throw your all into it. Be passionate about it, and somehow there's like a saying, if you take care of the cents, the dollars will take care of themselves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
so
Doesn't make dollars if it doesn't make sense. That
then
was
that
DJ
again.
Quick, I think it was.
Yeah. All
Zizi,
right,
thank you
Skills.
so
That's us,
much.
right? Yeah, dog.
Yeah,
Thank you.
man.
Thank you
Been
for
great as
the
usual,
people
man.
who are on your comments. We appreciate them. Let's do this again when we see each other in 2 weeks' time. We actually might have a surprise for you in 2 weeks' time, but we'll leave it to that.
Ooh,
Yeah. We spoke about it today.
ooh. Well, you're just gonna have to follow us and like us. Those things I hate saying. Yeah, follow me. Yeah, subscribe. Yeah, do all of this. Don't
But
do
you
any of
should.
that stuff.
Please do.
But put it on
Subscribe,
your put it.
follow, be part of our world, and so that we have an audience to talk to, firstly, and secondly, we're all here to learn from one another, build one another, and
That's what it
share
is.
experiences collectively. You asked about the cricket, and I'm like, I'm not that well invested in cricket right now, but throw it in there. We'll bring somebody
Yeah.
next time who can actually talk about South African sports as a whole, what's happening right now, where we stand, transformation, uh, talking about sports.
Gaten is gonna transfer. Is gonna what is
We
the
actually have
transfer? What?
we're
Is gonna
playing
do it like a mother.
Island. The Springboks are playing Island, two test matches. I can't wait to whip the Irish's ass because they've never even gone past the quarterfinal, and they claim to be the best team in the world. And we've won the World Cup back to back, and they just have this arrogance of themselves. These freaking
It's
Europeans,
after a couple of
thinking
days
that
because you know what
thinking
they're
that
good at.
how can you claim to be the best team in the world when you've not beaten the best, when you've not won the world tournament?
Dude, as
Anyway,
far as rugby is concerned, we're going for a third. It's gonna be
that's
like a
right.
record that will be difficult to break.
We've
And
won four,
one,
Sizwe,
yeah,
and yet have not played two.
you know, one other person
Anyway,
as we
let's
ended
be
off
out.
like there's so much like we could like for an hour and a half now.
Yeah.
I just forgot Bafana. They have a do or die playing
Oh,
against
against
the
Nigeria, you have to qualify
Swatini.
for the World Cup. Yeah.
No, they're playing against the Swatini. Yeah, not in order to get there. Like,
Oh yeah, but I guess these are all qualifiers to go to the World Cup, which
yeah,
will
it's
be in the
qualifiers to go to the
US.
World Cup. So yeah,
And no doubt. All right.
another piece of
Listen, man.
cake.
Against Swaziland, we'll win. I'm sure of that. Our team is not doing badly, by the way,
Oh
right
man,
now.
those boys are amazing. Those boys are amazing. I remember I was on the radio platform. I was talking to one of the analysts, and he's like, "How do you analyze like thing?" I'm like, "I'm just watching. You know, these niggas doing this shit." Like, so, and I see,
All right, all right, all right.
actually they are gelling. They're coming together. So it's the big up to Bafana, and let's go out there whenever they're playing at
All the
home
best to the Springboks
to
this
go and
weekend,
do it.
no doubt.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, man. All
All
right,
righty. Thank
Zizi,
you very much,
thank you so
people.
much, man.
Thank you, Doc. It's
It's
been
been
good.
swell. Thank you,
My
peeps.
man. Peace.